So LA is on fire. For those who are not currently aware, I moved to the great city of Los Angeles in October of 2024. I did this to essentially get a new start. Life was difficult, a relationship ended, I was looking down the barrel of abject homelessness and poverty in my home of the great state of Delaware, and my good buddy Brian offered me a place out here to come crash. Little did I know that in between being a man whore and barely struggling to make ends meet because of the high cost of living, that I would be a climate refugee, something that I, being a Northeasterner, outside of having to deal with, the occasional 2 to 3 feet of snow, never really had to deal with at all. That was until I moved here, and in the unfortunate span of a very terrible week that was bad for a multitude of reasons. If you would like to see those, go see the quick question video that I had made for my series with Sean. Ultimately, I had not experienced anything like this before. Yeah, I've lived through hurricanes and stuff, but one of the nice parts about living, in Delaware, and even like this goes for Philly, in the Philly area, and like Baltimore even too. Is that by and large, most of the time, hurricanes ain't coming up past the Mason-Dixon line, and when they do, they're usually too weak to really do anything of like major damage. The one hurricane that I can remember that like we saw some significant water was Sandy, and even then, we're inland enough that it hugged the coast and went up and crashed into New York City. No skin off my back. Regardless, this I want to talk about the fires a little bit because we have some people in our government, we have some people on the internet saying that this is LA's fault. And while I do think that people pushing back against that are said no, you can't. There's no human error that could account for 100-mile-an-hour winds, and like insanely dry conditions. There's nothing that can be done about that. Yeah, it's man-made climate change, obviously, but again, I'm not going to go into that. That's just the obvious answer. The big thing I want to talk about is, people like President Donald Trump, said that, it was the water management that was the issue. And funnily enough, I am inclined to actually agree with that. The problem with it, though, is that I want to introduce y'all to some folks real quick. Meet Stuart and Linda Resnick. They're the people behind Halos, Wonderful Pistachios, and Palm Wonderful. And Fiji, believe it or not, too. Back in 1994, they basically struck some deals with the municipal governments of California, and now own most of the water resources or rights to most of the water rights in California. Now, are these people the reason why the fires happened? No. Are these people the reason why the fires were hard to fight? Also, no. Personally, I think it has more to do with the fact that the city of LA cut $23 million from the LA Fire Department and gave that money to the LA Police Department, who have done fuck all during this entire crisis. Ultimately, the LA fires are the result of man-made climate change. And it also doesn't help the fact that, they just continue to build suburbs in areas like that are historically tinderboxes. The Pacific Palisades specifically were for the entire of human history of human beings living in this area have been a tinderbox or on fire every 2 fucking years like clockwork. So they thought, let's build houses made of asbestos over there. Like that was a good fucking idea. But what do I know? I'm just a 27-year-old who reads shit and, unlike most of the adult population, doesn't have lead poisoning. By the way, if you were born after the year like 2007, like 1996, 1997, you don't really have lead poisoning either, by the way. Either way, the LA fires are going to continue being absolutely, insane. But what can be done about it? I mean, aside from the fact that, if we're being honest, they need to, it's a catch-22. LA is an area with constant earthquakes, and you can't build, buildings out of, stone, concrete, and all that. It's just cheaper to build houses out of wood rather than make a bunch of concrete stone buildings fault tolerant. And there's already such a huge cost of living crisis in California. Like that's not going to be a thing. Fundamentally, at the end of the day, what's the end note? California's cooked. Them's the breaks. But I don't know. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, because of people like State Farm canceling people's fire insurance, a lot of the people that have lost their homes, especially a lot of the working class people, are about to get some rude ass awakenings about life and stuff right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if all of this property ends up getting scooped up for pennies on the dollar by developers, and then it just, if it was a smart thing, the state government would come in and basically say, hey, all of this land that like, if you don't already own this land and you aren't rebuilding a house here, if you sold this land after the fire and after a house burned down and you bought land from someone whose house burned down, you have to use this land to make at least like 60% of the land that you buy has to be used for low income affordable housing that is plentiful. Because realistically, at this point, the only thing that can be done is to lower property values, which is never going to happen because property values are the backbone of American wealth and the American wealthy. I don't know. Ultimately, the LA fires are goofy as shit, and I hate it here, and I hated having to experience that. And I swear to God, I got as sick as I did over the weekend because of breathing in the asbestos ash and smog from the smoke from like all of those houses that were built in the 60s, like the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, burning the fuck down in the Palisades. But is what it is, I guess. Go away.
Fast forward 30 seconds to skip the ad. Thank you so much for supporting HIMediaTV. If you want to support us without actually giving any money and you want to do more than just watching the video, please consider signing up for Acorns. Our referral link can be found here on the bounty board in our Discord. Using Acorns, I think, is a very, very good option for people who don't necessarily want to think about investing. God knows I don't want to think about it. And it passively invests for you by taking $5 out of your account at a time.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at himedia.gg/discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at himedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.